Order of Chaos was released on January 24th, 2012. This set introduced the Inzektor archetype and also provided support for one of the strongest decks of the format, Windups. Additionally, a new ban list was released on March 1st, 2012. Glow-Up-Bulb, Spore, Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, and Trap Dust Shoot were now banned from official competitive play. TG Striker and the Agent of Mystery Earth were now limited to 1 copy each. Lumina, Lightsworn Summoner, Marshmallow, Reborn Tengu, Emergency Teleport, Level Limit Area B, Shien Smoke Signal, Torrential Tribute, and Ultimate Offering were all semi-limited to 2 copies per deck. And finally, Call of the Haunted went from semi-limited to unlimited at 3 copies. In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CIMO5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content.
Well, I am very happy we were able to take that last one with Plant Synchro because you are not going to be seeing very much of that deck ever again. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, it's early 2012, and in the wake of the December 2011 format, people have coalesced around 3 very specific decks that are running the tables. The first is this one, Windup, which contains not only an extremely powerful advantage engine, but also a hand loop that can be performed as early as turn 1. The second is Inzektor, which Alex will talk to you a little more about, and the third is Dino Rabbit, which you just saw played. It's not exactly exciting. These 3 decks were so head and shoulders above everyone else going into this format that pretty much nothing else was competitive. And what's worse, these 3 decks were extremely boring. Even if you were winning, you were doing so in a manner that seemed unfair. When people are asked what their least favorite formats of all time are, this inevitably gets within the top 2 or 3. Not the Spiral 2018 format, not the Dad format, this. Early 2012, Windup, Inzektor, and Dino Rabbit. Now, Konami took notice of these 3 decks' continued dominance, and in March of 2012, they released a ban list that hit 2 very particular cards in Plant Synchro and not a lot else. Good old Konami, am I right? To say this was poorly received by the community is an understatement. It was very poorly received, and it boded very poorly for Konami, who suddenly had to defend themselves against the fledgling card game Cardfight Vanguard. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players made the switch and never looked back. It was a player-based dearth that the game almost did not recover from, but it did recover. I mean, we are still playing Yu-Gi-Oh! To this day, and that's because of the actions of a couple of very specific people that we're going to talk about in future episodes. But for now, we're playing the worst format of all time. So I'm playing Jake Quincy's April 2012 Windup list, and this deck, full of TCG exclusives, is devastating. If you're unfamiliar, the Windups are a series of monsters that all have effects that can be activated 1 time while they are face up on the field. They're wound, so to speak. The 5 that we're playing are Windup Magician, which allows you to extend by summoning further Windups from your deck, Windup Rabbit, which is basically Strike Ninja, 3 Windup Rat, which allows you to special summon a Windup from your graveyard under certain conditions. It has to be in attack position, so you can't summon it off of Windup Magician, which summons in defense and then use its extension effect, and 3 Windup Shark. This card can be activated in hand when you normal or special a Windup in order to summon itself, and can increase or decrease its effect at will. Finally, we're playing Windup Hunter. And this guy can tribute a face-up Windup monster to send a card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. Now, a couple of really important things about that. First, it can only be activated once while this card is face-up on the field, but if by some miracle you are able to summon it from the graveyard back to your side of the field after, oh, I don't know, detaching it into Xyz material, you do get another shot at the effect. And second, it sends, which means that even if you're playing a deck like Dark World, you're not going to be able to flex the second effect of your very powerful monsters. There are very few cards that get around this. Now, would it be surprising to you to know that this hand loop is not actually the reason why Windup was so feared? It's an extremely powerful deck and an extremely resilient one. Realistically, you weren't likely to get the hand loop off very often. Maxi and Effect Veiler are both legal, and 50% of the time you are going second. Now, what made Windup exceptionally powerful is it had a backbone of a very powerful advantage loop, which not only added a bunch of cards to your side of the field and a bunch of cards to your hand, but also threatened the Hunter loop every single turn. The main combo goes like this. You want to use Tour Guide from the Underworld to summon a Sangan or another Tour Guide from your deck, and then go into a Windup Carrier Zenmaity. This card, still on the ban list to this day, allows you to detach an Xyz material to summon a Windup monster from your hand or deck. And when a face-up Windup monster on the field is destroyed and sent to your graveyard, you can attach an Xyz material from this card to target that card and return it to the hand. This plus Shark enabled you to summon a Hunter from deck, change the Shark to a 3, destroy the Zenmaity with the Hunter to loop a card, overlay for a second Zenmaity, get a Rat from deck, detaching the Hunter, reborn the Hunter, pitch the Zenmaity, make another Zenmaity, get another Rat, get another Hunter, and loop between 4 and 5 cards, depending on how many extenders like Instant Fusion you had in your opener. Windup Magician and Windup Shark perform the same combo, and some weird combinations of extension and individual 3-star monsters performs it as well. Moreover, this card, Windup Factory, is an incredibly powerful search tool. Once per turn, if the effect of a Windup monster is activated, you can add a level 4 or lower Windup monster from your deck to your hand. Windup Factory meant that hands that were Factory plus Rabbit were also the combo. You can activate Windup Factory, normal summon a Rabbit, activate Rabbit, get yourself a Magician, pass back to your opponent, bring back the Rabbit, Magician comes back, Rabbit can banish itself again, you can search off of Factory once again, and you can trigger the effect of Magician. Functionally, Windup Rabbit and Windup Factory meant that it was an extremely resilient and robust aggro combo style deck, and this made it incredibly well positioned for this format. Every so often you would hand loop, like 2018 Trickstar, but most of the time you were just assembling boards that your opponent couldn't possibly out. Before we get started with windups, just a quick note, this is an extremely hard deck to play optimally. That goes double for Inzektors. These two decks were not only extremely powerful, they were extremely difficult to pilot. Alex and I pride ourselves on a breadth of understanding of Yu-Gi-Oh, but we don't have the depth necessary to make these decks shine to their absolute fullest potential. There's a lot of really interesting wind-up matches that are still on YouTube that showcase the innate power of this deck, but we have been practicing and I hope to do this deck proud. So with that, let's get into the card by card. First is 2 Effect Veiler, 2 Maxi. This is one of the first formats where hand traps main deck are absolutely necessary. Sangan 3 Tour Guide, Hunter, double Magician, triple Rabbit, triple Rat, and triple Shark. We've got Bomb, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Instant Fusion as an extender. If you summon a Flame Ghost, you can go into a Zenmaity, even if your Tour Guide is like Veilered. Mind Control, Monster Reborn, triple Mystical Space Typhoon. This is really, really powerful, both as a way to clear out your opponent's back row and as a way to screw up their Inzektor lines a lot of the time. Pot of Avarice, triple Wind-Up Factory, double Fiendish Chain, Mirror Force, Solemn Judgment, 2 Solemn Warning, and 2 Torrential Tribute for 41 cards total. In the side, we've got double Cyber Dragon, Effect Veiler, Gorzy, Emissary of Darkness, double Snowman Eater, double Smashing Ground, Black Horn of Heaven, 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, 2 Royal Decree, and 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Now, the last one is for Inzektor specifically, and is likely the one you're going to see the most of out of the board. In the extra, we've got Chimera Tech, we've got Flame Ghost, we've got Brionac, we've got Adrius, we've got Leviair, double Leviathan Dragon, Utopia, Tyrios, Zenmeo, 3 Zenmaity, and double Zen Mains. So with that, wish me luck.
Well, guys, it was fun while it lasted, but welcome to the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel like we say that at least once a year that we cover in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! But this was a time where people were pretty fucking pissed off. The new ban list for March 2012 had come out, and a lot of the issues in the game were really not addressed on this ban list whatsoever. I'm sure Joseph already covered that a bit more in depth, and some new issues begin to arise as well. And one of them is actually what we are playing today. This is Inzektor. Now, I will say, I'm very happy to be piloting this for a few reasons. First of which, I did get to play this in Progression Series in like a very neutered form, so I'm happy to be able to be piloting this like at full power with 3 Hornet and 3 Dragonfly, so that's pretty cool. But secondly, my childhood friend who actually got me back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Several years later, this was his pet deck, so Rod, if you're watching this one's for you, buddy. We'll try to do our best, but let's go ahead and do the card by card. There's a lot to talk about here. This is a list from April 2012, and the difference between the early Inzektor decks and like the national format Inzektor decks and like beyond are much different. So if this isn't the Inzektor deck that you may remember from childhood when this deck was first released, it's probably because this deck underwent several iterations, and this is like what one of the first decks looked like, and we'll talk about that in depth. So first we have a Dark Arm Dragon. I mean, our deck is like all dark, and what's cool is that because the Inzektors allow you to take monsters from the graveyard, you have in-engine own self-manipulation of the graveyard of how many darks you have. So even in like later stages, you have the potential to be able to actually get just 3 dark monsters in your grave. If you can form like a dragonfly chain, start equipping things, then this card actually becomes live. But in any case, it's just a bomb, so that's good enough as well. We have 3 copies of Centipede. So if you've never seen Inzektor before, each one of the Inzektors has the ability that once per turn, you can equip an Inzektor monster from your hand or graveyard to this card. If an equipped card is sent to your graveyard while equipped to this card, then they each have a respective effect. So in the case of Centipede, you can add one Inzektor card from your deck to your hand. And while this card is equipped to a monster, that monster's level is increased by 3. That somewhat matters. We'll talk about that when we get to the extra deck. But what I want you to pay attention to here is that the first effects are soft once per turns, meaning if you have multiple copies of these, you can actually keep continuously equipping. But the second part here, the if an equipped card is sent to the graveyard while equipped to this card, this is not a once per turn in the slightest. So you could, in theory, keep equipping the same card to the same Inzektor. And if you have a way to keep destroying that card, you can then trigger the effect multiple times. So Centipede adds Inzektor cards from deck to hand. Dragonfly allows you to special summon Inzektor monsters from deck. And then we have Hopper in here as well, which is definitely one of the lesser played, but this is a deck from a specific YCS or a SJC, I forget what they were at this time, that we took from online. I wouldn't probably play 3 of this, but I can see why, just to get more names. It's also level 4 and allows you to actually enable some other plays. So Hopper has the ability that while this card is equipped to a monster, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard. The monster it was equipped to can attack your opponent directly this turn. I guess the other advantage of Hopper is that you can also forcibly send Hopper to trigger the effects of your Inzektor, so I guess that could be relevant. We have 3 Hornet, which is the heart and soul of the deck. If this card is equipped to a monster, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard, target a card on the field, and destroy it. The heart and soul of the deck is Hornet plus Dragonfly, because if you have a Dragonfly, you can equip a Hornet, pop one of your opponent's cards by sending it to the graveyard, triggering the Dragonfly to summon an Inzektor, in this case Centipede. Then Centipede can equip the Hornet from the graveyard, pop another card, triggering the Centipede to add an Inzektor card to your hand, and the more cards you have access to, the larger these combo strings can get to. So if you give this deck an inch, it will take a mile. We also have 1 copy of Gigamantis. This is one of the more unique ones. You can equip it to an Inzektor and actually make its attack become 2400, and if it's sent to the grave while equipped to a monster, you can target an Inzektor in your graveyard and special summon it. So there are some cool things to do with Hornet, because Hornet can not only just pop your opponent's cards, it can pop your own cards as well. So if you equip something like a Gigamantis to one of your own monsters, you can destroy your own Gigamantis just to special summon another Inzektor to be able to keep your chain going. So Hornet, for this reason, is very powerful and sees the limited list very quickly. We've also got a Sangan and triple tour guide. This is like standard at this point. Now, there are some cool things to do with this. I mean, we have some rank 3s that we can go into, but there's some neat lines because you're able to, like, if you banish some of your Inzektors off of Dark Arm Dragon, tour guide can then go into like a Leviair, bring back something like a Dragonfly, and then you could equip a Hornet and essentially keep going if you absolutely have to, and just keep building a larger board. But overall, you have some of the utility rank 3s like Zenmain's Brilliant, as well, is nice for being able to just pump up your board and is used for going for OTKs. For the spells, Allure of Darkness, because our deck is primarily all dark. Actually, I think it is all dark looking at it. Book of Moon, Darkhold, Foolish Burial's great to get Hornet into the graveyard. Double Forbidden Lance. This is nice because you're able to protect your Dragonfly or your Centipede from something like a Fiendish Chain or a Torrential or some other sort of spell speed 2 interaction, so that way you make sure your combo will go off. Heavy Storm, triple Inzektor Sword. I think this is a bit much, just like the 3 Hopper is a bit much as well, but obviously the theory was still being developed. This sword is pretty good. It gives an Inzektor 800 attack and defense, and when its face up is sent to the graveyard, you can target an Inzektor monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. This, in tandem with Gigamantis, essentially allowed you to just swarm the field with monsters and go in for the OTK. So at minimum, you need at least 1 Gigamantis and at least 1 sword, and later iterations of this deck eventually cut down to that. Maybe 2 sword, but definitely not 3. That was overkill. Reborn, MST round out the spells. MST is similar to Hornet, where you can actually pop your own Inzektors to trigger the effects of their on-field effects, where they were able to either add cards or special summon. So MST is actually sort of a combo piece in this deck as well, and maybe that will come up. Then for the traps, triple Fiendish Chain just to slow down the opponents, a Solemn Judgment and Double Warning, the OG Solemn Brigade, and 2 copies of Torrential Tribute, the newly semi-limited. Very interesting. For the extra deck, we have a Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. This in tandem with Cyber Dragon allows us to eat up entire fields full of machines. Windups are all technically machines, so maybe this could come up. Then we have a entire lineup of synchros here, which is a bit peculiar because I don't think this deck is actually playing any synchros. Top YCS deck profile, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a bunch of synchros that we can't summon. I'm not sure why, but okay. 2 Levier. Levier makes sense, like I said, with like Dad and stuff to be able to bring stuff back to extend further. Leviathan and Giga Brilliant are used for OTKs and just getting over large things. Utopia, the nice thing about this deck is that we are able to access some different levels in this deck, and so, especially because we're playing Hopper, level 4s are actually even easier to get on the field. So there could be an argument to make Utopia if you're trying to maybe just like survive a turn or something. And then of course Zenmane's probably the best rank 3 we have access to. Then 2 Cyber Dragon, 2 Maxi. Strange to not see this in the main deck, especially with the wind-up loop running around, but it is what it is. 2 Thunder King to slow down the decks that do a lot of searching. 2 Dimensional Fisher for all the decks that just get absolutely crippled by this card. A Smashing Ground for removal. Double Dimensional Prison. Double Gozen Match. This card is actually very strong because our entire deck is dark, so we really don't care about this. And double Trap Stun. We do need a way to deal with opposing Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors and the like, and so Trap Stun's nice because not only does it shut that off, but it preemptively shuts off stuff like Warning and I guess not Judgment because we can actually just have that get negated in that case, but the fact that we can shut off stuff like Torrential, like Fiendish Chain before our opponent even has a chance to activate it means our plays can go off uninterrupted, and if we're able to establish like Dragonfly Hornet, we can pop all the back row before Trap Stun is actually done resolving for the turn, and that way they're not going to get any opportunity to use those traps. So that's pretty cool. Guys, I can't wait to see how this match is going to go. It's probably going to be a disaster because this is 2 just high power, high octane decks that if they have the opportunity to go off, they are going to take the game by storm. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Well, buddy, welcome to the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! Glad we made it this far before our series got completely demonetized. But yeah, it's been a good ride. I just wanted to say it's been fantastic having you as a companion all these years, and now it's the beginning of the end.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate my time here. I mean, do you really want to play this match out? We could go play Vanguard. You know, I hear that that's pretty good.
We could just go play Edison,
Ooh,
right? I mean, that like
yeah.
I think if we did like Edison parts 4, 5, and 6, the audience would be all for that. But
yeah,
no, unfortunately, we're here. It is the March 2012 format. I think both of our decks are from April, but I mean that's still technically in the timeline. And oh boy, you and I have not been looking forward to it.
No, so obviously we talked about this in the individual decks, but this is a historically bad time for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I got to applaud Konami. You know, it takes a lot of guts to look at 3 exceptionally unfun decks tearing up the format and say, you got it. We are banning Spore. That's the problem. We got to get Spore out of the format. Oh, geez.
God. Yeah, it's just a mess. And I mean, to some people, this is like, you know, some of their favorite, you know, childhood memories playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know why.
Monsters.
But, you know, like, this is like, if you ask Gage about wind-up format, he'll tell you how much he loves it.
You know, it does not surprise
me
at all that this is one of Gage's favorite formats. Oh, my God.
I will say I am happy to be able to pilot Inzektors for a couple reasons. One, this was actually the deck that my childhood friend who got me back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Not at this time, but a little bit later on. This was like his pet deck, so it's cool to be able to be repping that. And B, because I did, you know, play Inzektor a little bit in progression, I'm actually happy to see it at full power, right? And be able to play it like in a somewhat competitive setting.
I will say the new Inzektor spell might bring this deck back. I mean, one characteristic of both of these decks is that they're actually just modern combo decks. Like, they're clearly decks that should have existed in, like, 2018. But for some temporal miracle, they're both available in 2012. I mean,
Konami never said that the Inzektor spell that they were going to make would be good.
Well,
let's just say
I
that.
don't know. It looks decent. I'll say this. I'm happy to be playing wind-ups. I was playing Dark World throughout this entire period. At a locals that wasn't super competitive. I mean, it was the middle of Kansas. But I lost a lot to Wind Up because here's a fun fact. Did you know that Wind Up Hunter does not discard a card from your opponent's hand? It sends it. Great.
It sends it, right? Don't you love Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes?
No.
It's such a great game. All right, well, we've met the ad revenue marker by now, and now this is going to be probably a 2-minute game. So let's go ahead and get into it, buddy. Let's shout out our patron. It is Cimoooooooo kissed MBT on the lips. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. All right, buddy. Lift up the lift up the hand. What are we doing?
All right, let me think. Okay, I got it.
Okay, I'm going to go with odd.
Christ. Yeah, it's odd. It was
Oh,
3.
okay. All right, we win. What was your theory?
3 is the number of Zen mains I'm going to summon turn 1.
Oh, interesting. My theory was
rather.
5 is the number of cards you're going to discard out of my hand, but not anymore, sucker. All right, let's go ahead and go first.
I mean, I'm
Good
not
luck, buddy.
like super. Oh, okay. We were never making this happen. I'm not like
Okay.
super beat up about it. It's just like Inzektor is one of those frustrating decks, and Windup is like this too. That yes, it's got this really powerful turn 1 combo, but it can go second really well too. Hornet eat your board is a very hard thing to cope with.
I agree. All right, good luck, buddy. I'm going to think long and hard about how I want to start things off here.
Take your
And
time.
I think the play here, honestly, and I know I'm going to already get roasted for just immediately probably misplaying with this deck, but I think I'm actually just going to do a T set and pass.
Honestly, I think that's fine. I'll draw for a turn. Stand by me.
See, you have the luxury of the audience not being able to see your hand. Isn't that glorious?
Well, well, well. Here we are. This is not the combo. It's not the hand loop, but it's something. And we're going to see how much that's something we can go for. I'm going to lead with an MST. We're going to target your set card.
That is not what I wanted to see, but at least I'm happy that you don't have combo, so it's Fiendish Chain.
Okay, that is very interesting to me, personally. Okay, we are going to begin with Wind Up Rabbit.
Okay, sure. Now, this card is pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, so one thing that really frustrates me about Wind Up is, yes, it's got this BS combo that just rips every single card out of your hand. But another thing it has is Wind Up Rabbit, which is, it's free Strike Ninja. And if you have a continuous spell called Wind Up Factory, it's also infinite adds to hand. I do not have that, though. I have...
Oh, thank God.
Wind Up Shark, which I will special summon to my side of the field.
Okay, sure. Because you special summoned, or in this case, normal summoned your rabbit. That is fine. Would you like to do any level modulation with your shark?
I'm going to try to reduce its level to 3 if you have a Veiler.
I will allow it.
Okay. From here, we are going to overlay, and I am going to make a Wind Up Carrier Zenmaity.
Toot toot. Yep.
I'm going to declare the effect of Zenmaity. We're going to detach the rabbit here.
Okay.
If that's fine, I will go in my deck, and we will search a Wind Up Rat. I'm going to declare the effect of Rat. We're going to switch it to defense position.
Mm-hmm.
We'll summon back the rabbit.
Starting to see a combo here.
So we can make 3 Zenmaity if we want. Which is pretty good. I mean, it's a strong opening for sure. But I don't think that's the play. I think I just want to get Rabbit into rotation so I can threaten this every turn. I may want to go for 1 additional 3 before I do that, though. Okay, so I will overlay the Rabbit and the Rat. We'll go for Zenmaity here.
Sure.
We will trigger Zenmaity, pitching the Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
We will grab another Rat. We'll switch him to defense. We will summon the Rabbit. And then I will attempt to go to combat.
That is fine.
We'll attack in with Zenmaity here.
It is Sangan.
I figured. All right.
So with that, I'm going to grab good old Dragonfly.
I have no response to Dragonfly. I'll get in with Zenmaity, and then I'll get in with Rabbit.
This will be 29.
All right, second main. Now we are in an interesting position. I can use Rabbit to banish one of these guys, or I can go into Zen mains. I am going to make Zen mains here.
Okay. I think that's, a fair play. That means it's just an asshole.
He is an asshole. We'll set 2, and I'll pass back to you.
Gross. All right. We will draw for turn. Let's go to main 1. I will normal summon said Dragonfly.
Okay, I will Solemn Warning this.
And I figured that was coming. Okay. Well, this was a fun game. I don't know why I just lost the life points, but you need to lose the life points. And I'm probably dead here. Well, I don't think there's much left for me to do, so I will just set 1 and pass.
All right, I'll draw. Stand by main. Now we can threaten the combo. This is the part of Wind Up I like, is that you kind of have to clear the entire board here, or else I'm just going to do it. So we're going to go Shark here, or rather Zenmaity. I'm going to summon from deck a copy of Hunter.
There's the boy.
I will trigger the effect of Hunter. We're going to lose the Zenmaity with no material. We're going to try and play around Gores as best as possible. Oh, okay, that doesn't do what I want. Okay, enough of that. Good thing this isn't Snipe Hunter. Good thing this isn't Snipe Hunter!
You could have gone with the 1. I don't know why you didn't, but yeah, fine. So this is going to give away what's going on here. There's a tour guy.
I see. Go for the other Zenmaity here. Going to grab a...
I think you still have a 3rd rat, don't you?
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah. If you had cleared one of my monsters, this would be a lot easier. Because I could go...
Yeah, you love how the problem with windup is your board space not getting cleared by your opponent. Oh, no.
This is Master Rule 6, right? All right, we're just going to play real sloppy. I'll go get Windup Rabbit.
Sure.
I'm going to trigger Windup Rabbit. We're going to banish the, I don't know, the rabbit.
Okay.
I'm going to normal summon Windup Rat.
Sure.
I'm going to go for
there we go.
We're going to summon back the Shark. I'll activate the effect of Shark to decrease its level, and then we will overlay these two. Okay, that's actually terrible. I'm talking myself into the worst play in history. We should just go for lethal, right? I feel like that's probably the play.
I feel like you should have done that from the onset, but I know you just wanted to style on me, so go ahead.
All right, we'll go for Levi or the Sea Dragon.
Sure.
We'll trigger the effect targeting the rabbit.
Yeah, fine.
And then we will overlay for, I don't know, Leviathan.
Perfect.
Trigger Leviathan, we'll put him at 25. Switch the Zen mains to attack, and we'll try and get in here.
You fool! I will bury your monsters! Woo! Yeah, you got it.
All right.
You know, when your hand is tour guide, centipede, dragonfly. Like, I had the combo if you didn't warning the dragonfly. Like, we could have been, actually, I don't even know because, like, all the centipedes are in my fucking hands, so maybe not. But I'm like, one solid warning does it, and there it was. So I don't know if I could have done that differently. I opened with the centipede, so, like, could I have, like, foolish something to trigger? I don't think so. Like,
yeah.
I figured setting Sangan to get dragonfly to get the combo for next turn was the play, but I don't know. It's rough.
Before getting roasted by the comments for the way that I played that one, let me just reveal my hand. It was that combo you saw, and then warning judgment, and I was like, oh, I'll just make any number of monsters, and then warning the summon, solemn the reborn, and I cannot lose.
Perfect. Exactly. All right. Well,
this hand's a little stinky.
Let's hope this hand's a little bit better. So I'm going to go to main 1, and I do have the tour guide. Do you have any response?
Unfortunately, my friend, I do not.
Okay. So we're going to grab... I mean, I guess I go for Sangan here, right? Yeah, we'll go for Sangan. Now, the weird thing is, I kind of don't want to overlay. I kind of just want to keep Sangan on the field, if I'm being honest.
This is me every time I play tour guide. I'm like, yeah. But if I leave Sangan...
Right, exactly. Like, you know, it seems like it would be good. So, okay. Then, in that case, I'm going to... I think I'm going to set 2 face downs. And actually, I'm just going to pass on that.
Okay, we might actually be able to do this. Oh, perfect fucking timing. Okay, well, first and foremost, let's start with a heavy.
You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. I had the goes in for you. Fuck. All right.
Goes and fuck yourself, buddy, because I have the rabbit.
Yeah.
So,
okay,
again,
sure.
Don't have the fucking continuous spell. That's the idea. But one fun part about Rabbit is that just his existence threatens the combo. Now I can summon a 3 and do it next turn. So we're going to eat the tour guide.
Sure, I'll take 4 here.
We'll go to main 2. I'm going to set 2 cards, and back to you, Buckaroo.
Perfect. Now we're, like, equally as fucked as we were before. Fantastic. All right, main phase 1. You can threaten it next turn, which is just gross. All right, well, guess I'll summon another tour guide. Show me the warning.
I have the Maxi.
Oh, okay, even worse.
6-card Maxi, by the way. Thank you so much, God.
Perfect. Well, with this tour guide, I will grab the only other target in my deck, which is, guess what? Another tour guide.
All right, I'll draw my card.
And this is just, like, pointless, right? I could overlay, give you another card, but, like, whatever I overlay for isn't even good. It's like... all the things that you can make don't even stop you from doing this. It's like Zen Mains is an asshole, I guess. Everything else just does literally nothing. All right, whatever. I'm going to go for the Zen Mains.
Sure.
Get your draw.
Yes.
There's no point to even attempt to attack Rabbit by putting the Zen Mains in attack because you can just bounce out. So I'm actually just going to set 2 of my own, not playing around Mech Knights, and throw it to you.
All right, I'll draw for turn. Stand by me.
Sure.
Ah, man. I had those 2 in your hand, buddy. Oh, they were so gone. All right, I'm going to go Rabbit here.
Sure.
We are going to overlay for Zen Maity, if that's okay.
A boat is back.
All right, I'm going to trigger the effect of Zen Maity. I am going to grab... let's grab Hunter.
Okay.
Anything here?
No, you're good.
All right, I'm going to go to battle phase. I'll attack
Sure.
your Sangan.
Yeah. Now, this is like kind of futile, but I will trigger the Sangan. This doesn't matter because you can just Hunter combo me and get rid of my whole hand. So in that case, I guess I'll actually take Hornet.
Oh, clever. That's very clever of you. Okay, well, I will Hunter. Big surprise. We'll send the Zenmaity.
In main phase 2, right?
Yeah.
Sure. So go ahead and pick a random one.
Sure. I will grab that one.
Aha, you fool.
Damn, that was kind of sick. Okay.
Joke's on you. My hand's double Hornet. Watch.
Okay. I will Reborn targeting my rabbit. I guess I don't target rabbit, actually. I'm supposed to target your tour guide.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh my god, wait. Can I target your Hornet? Holy shit. Can I target your Hornet here?
You could. Would you like to?
Yeah, I would. Oh,
it is a 3, which is very annoying.
All right, we'll go for a Zenmaity here.
Sure.
I will trigger Zenmaity, detaching Hunter. We're going to grab a rat. We'll go rat effect. Shit. So we can bring back Hunter and take the last card in your hand, or we can bring back rabbit.
Just threaten next turn?
Just do it again? No, that's
yeah.
We'll go Hunter effect. I'll lose the Zenmaity here. We'll grab this guy.
Okay, it was a centipede, so.
Oh, okay, well. We're going to overlay again. We've got another Zenmaity.
Sure.
We're going to trigger Zenmaity. We'll detach Hunter. Go grab a rat. We'll trigger rat. We will grab rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will... It's in defense. And then we'll trigger rabbit. We'll banish the rat. Do we even banish the rat? We'll trigger the rabbit, banish the rabbit.
That seems pretty good.
Soon. All right, back to you.
One time.
No, it's until my next standby phase. Okay, we'll just sit on the rabbit then.
Okay, main one. Activate trap stun.
Oh. Judgment.
Fuck. You had to have judgment. All right. Well, I'm the best player in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I got a dragonfly.
Yo, that's sick.
If you didn't have warning.
I don't.
Oh, activate dragonfly?
I have Valor.
This is depressing. This is so depressing. I guess I'll put the Zen mains to attack, go to battle, Zen mains into Zenmaity.
Oh, that's interesting. Sure. Yeah, no response to that.
Okay, so I detach here. Then Dragonfly into Rat.
Oh, we'll protect the rat.
Makes sense. And then I'll just redeclare on the rabbit, so we'll just kill that.
Sure.
All right, second main. Don't think I can do anything, sadly. End phase Zen main's trigger. Let's just pop one of your things. So let's get this one.
I lied. I had warning too.
Oh, you just didn't give a shit. Yeah. Perfect. All right, go ahead.
All right. Oh my god. Wow. Stand by main.
At least if I draw another Inzektor, I know it might go through potentially.
Let's go grab that rat back.
Sure. Isn't it from the banished pile, not the graveyard?
Oh, it was just the one in grave.
Yeah.
Let's go grab that rat back.
Sure. There you go.
All right. Deciding how I want to do this. I can make my own Zen mains. That's pretty funny.
I mean, we have a bit more of a game this time than we did last time, I'll say.
I'm going to trigger rat. I will grab rabbit.
Sure. Shocker.
I'm going to MC your dragonfly.
Yep.
We'll go... I'm going to overlay the dragonfly and the rat for my own Zen mains. And then we will go to combat here.
Okay.
I'll walk in.
We each detach.
And then I will proceed to the end step.
Okay. So yours would trigger first, and then mine would trigger Chain Link 2, correct?
Yeah, so I'm going to target your back row.
And then I might do the same because, I mean... your other two cards, one's invincible technically, and Wind Up Rabbit just bounces out of here. So I think I'm going to go for your back row as well.
No response.
Okay, so yours resolves, or mine resolves first. So it was Torrential. I had the Lance for your Torrential, so that would have been cool.
Okay, so unfortunately I've weaseled my way into a position where you actually have a ton of live draws. So back to you.
Can I be the best player twice? Oh, let's go!
Jesus Christ. All right, let's make it happen, Captain.
All right, now I get to play the game. Dragonfly, get the Hornets. Mm-hmm. This is so weird that I have to actually put it in the monster zone first, then here. Okay, now we get to somewhat God combo here. So we're going to trigger the Hornet. The only issue with this is that Zen mains is still a problem, so I need to factor that in. And also, Wind Up Rabbit can just, like, bounce out. So, like, as good as this is, it's not, like, the end of the game or anything immediately. So I think first and foremost, I'm going to go after your Zen mains.
Okay, no response to this.
Okay. Trigger the dragonfly.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and grab a centipede. Okay, centipede's turn to equip Hornet.
Yep.
And from here, we're going to shoot again. I think I just go for Zen mains because Zen mains, I believe, won't trigger if it's on the field anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, so I think that makes sense. Like Rabbit, like if I go for Rabbit, you can just tag. In either case, you can tag either of these out. So I guess I'm just going to go for the Zen mains to address the issue.
I guess this is a better tag out than the other one. So we will... no, I want the 3. Oh, God. You're going to pop everything. It's just a question of who's coming back. All right, that's... Oh.
I do think probably keeping the 3 is better for you. Because then if you get another wind-up, then you're able to combo off,
I mean,
right?
keeping the 3 is better, but if you're able to loop Hornet one more time, I'm dead. So I think
Fair.
I am going to banish the Zen mains.
Okay, sure. Then trigger the centipede. We're going to grab... Where do we go from here? Okay, so I think the ad off of the centipede is Gigamantis, actually.
Yeah, that that I believe will do it.
Yeah, we equip the Gigamantis to Dragonfly here. That puts it up to 2,400 attack. And then whether you tag out or not, you're dead. Because this is 1,000, and then 16 and 15 is 31. It's just over lethal.
Well, let's go to game 3.
I mean, we got a game 3. I didn't think we'd make it this far.
You know what's really funny is I actually had 100% win on that one if I just solemn warninged your Dragonfly and kept the Veiler. I just wanted to own you. I wanted to absolutely own you, and that was my downfall.
Oh my God, you're hubris, Joseph. You let it take the better of you.
I would say that probably my hubris is responsible for like 99% of my losses. Ooh.
Fair. I think I can also feel the same way. So, all right, buddy, just end my life. Like, just full combo me.
All right, just show me the Veiler here.
Tour guide.
Come on, dude.
I have to max see this, right?
Oh, God, it's worse. Oh, it's so much worse. Okay, crap. That is so bad.
Oh, you did it to me. It's only fair. Isn't this card, Joseph? Isn't Max C such a fun and healthy card for the game?
Oh, I had it too. I had full combo. Wow, that's
oh my God,
that's so depressing. All right, well, you ready?
Bam! Oh, I know how that feels. Game 1, buddy.
Go.
Game 1. Oh, fantastic. All right, we're gonna draw. This is so great. Now I get to MST your warning.
Yeah. It is judgment.
All right.
Effect.
Oh, judgment, even better. That's limited. Okay. What's the play now? I don't think I have my combo, sadly. But
oh, thank the fucking Lord.
I need to think of if I have a better way to navigate this. Let's see. Now it's time for you to show me your Maxi.
I have Veiler, so.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just as good. I will go to battle.
Yes.
Let's crash our tour guides.
Okay, sure.
Then second main, I will set 2 and pass. Go ahead.
Stand by main.
Yep.
I'm going to normal summon Wind Up Rabbit.
Rabbit is bad. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to... I mean, there's no shot you don't have something relevant set, so whatever. I'm going to activate Instant Fusion here.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, that's a spicy one.
I'll grab...
What do you get, the Fusionist? Oh, Flame Ghost, excuse me.
Right. How do you feel about that? Decent?
Pretty good. Yeah, go ahead. We may proceed.
We'll go these 2 for Zenmaity.
Sure.
I will trigger Zenmaity. We will grab Magician.
Summon Shark.
Okay, I'm going to Rabbit banishing Zenmaity. I'm going to grab, with Magician, a copy of Shark.
That's fine.
We're going to declare Shark to turn it to a 3.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go into another Carrier. Carrier effect.
Mm-hmm.
We will grab Magician. We will go Shark in hand.
There it is. Yep.
And then we'll declare Magician. We'll grab Rat.
That's fine. Yep.
Do we even grab Rat? If we get Hunter here, yeah, same thing happens. We'll get Hunter.
Okay.
We will go Hunter effect, sending Magician.
Sure. Roll it.
Yeah. Let's grab this one.
There's a centipede.
All right, we'll go Hunter and Shark into Meity.
Mm-hmm.
Meity effect, pitching Hunter. We're going to search Rat.
Sure.
Rat effect, we're going to summon the Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter effect, we're going to grab the last card in hand.
Which was a Giga Mantis. Never want to draw this card.
Okay. Overlay here for Zen mains.
Sure.
Combat.
This is what, 45 all in?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, I mean, same outs as always, buddy.
Hands on the table. This time I don't have a Hornet engraved, sadly, so see what we can do.
There's no fucking way! There's no way, dog!
Oh, buddy. It's worse than you think. Special summon Cyber Dragon?
No.
Oh, Joseph, it looks like you left a field full of machines out for me. How interesting. I think I'll go ahead and contact fuse them away for my Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon.
Oh my god.
That is the best out I could have drawn. 4,000 attack to. Unreal. All right. Go ahead, buddy.
I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. I drew MST.
It's for the dark hole.
Oh, there was
I didn't
no
need dark
way.
hole.
Oh my god.
Woo! I can't believe we won.
I'm fuming.
Oh my god. I'd be fuming too. Holy shit.
I'm sure there were like Hornet wasn't even an out. You don't have
It
anything
wasn't
to
an
do
out.
with
No. I don't even know how I was getting out of that, to be honest.
Well,
like,
you
I
found
could
a
have
way.
started, I could have, like, equipped some things, but, like, I don't think it could have dealt with Zen mains. So, if I didn't draw the side draw, I could dark hole your field, but Zen mains is still surviving. So, I guess it's like, Zen mains would probably pop my back row then probably, which was just a heavy. Like, I just set these because I knew you were going to rip them out of my hand with the stuff anyway. So I figure, okay, I can keep these. If your board isn't that bad, I can go dark hole your board. If you set a back row, because I wasn't sure if you had any at that point, heavy storm whatever back row you have. And then at least I have a shot to potentially maybe take on Zen mains one-on-one, which isn't exactly the best. But yeah, Sidra, you know, that fucking works too.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe that. I'm sure that I had a line that third game to do like a lethal amount of damage, but I think I played myself being like, oh, the back rows clearly bait sets so that it doesn't get Hunter looped next turn.
Yeah.
But I should still play around stuff. And I think I should have just committed to one of the two lines and gone like, instead of like Zen mains, just like some Leviathan Dragon shenanigans. But oh my, I can't believe that. It's my own fault. I should have won game 2, but I wanted to style. And
yeah, so I mean, you know, probably to most people, you probably won that one. The other weird line I had this last game. So because I had the MST, I could have gone like Centipede, equip Gigamantis, and then MST my own Gigamantis to trigger Centipede, which just sounds like kind of neg. But then at least it gives me like a follow-up.
Eventually.
Right, it gives me a Hornet or a Dragonfly for the following turn. But with knowing that you were going to potentially hand loot me because I couldn't like, I knew you had the combo, right? So like, I don't know if I max seed too early because like you were just able to stop on like Tour Guide Sangan. But like, I feel like I had to shotgun that.
I mean, if you don't,
I don't know.
If you don't stop me on Tour Guide Sangan, I just go like, if you fire it on resolution of the Sangan summon, I just don't summon. If you fire it in response to the Zenmaity summon, I just go Rabbit, and we end the turn there anyway.
Right, and then I have to take down a Zenmaity, which is arguably harder to take down than like a tour guide, especially with my hand, right? Because you Veilered my tour guide. Right. So no, I think that was correct.
No,
I don't know,
I feel
but
like it was right. Man.
Yeah, so shooting the Centipede with my MST just made no sense because then I get a card that you're just going to rip out of my hand because I can't set it or anything. So I just felt like that was just the best move. But, you know, I'm sure the comments will scrutinize us like they usually do. But
yeah,
I mean
for what it's worth, comments, you don't have information of my hand, which is great. I would prefer that you never know what I have in my hand. But there was definitely a better way to play my turn. And I'm sure there were better ways to play Alex's turn, too. But one thing that, like, unfortunately, going week to week, we just can't account for is a lot of these decks are really hard, especially in this format. And a knowledge both of what your opponent is playing and, like, how your opponent is going to play it and what their decks look like is pretty critical to how you construct your combo lines. Like, I had access to 4s the entire time, but like didn't feel comfortable doing like Utopia lines, which would later evolve into like Roach lines, which hilariously would have stopped this fucking play exactly, right? So, you know, it ends up being this deck isn't even playing Roach at this point in time. So you end up seeing not only an evolution of our ability to play these decks. If you were playing during this time, you saw an evolution in the ability of the pilots of these decks to navigate different lines based on the matchup, and the ability of the pilots to build the decks entirely, right? By the time Nationals rolls around, this wind-up deck looks different. Alex's deck looks almost completely different. Like, there's a lot of stuff changed. And so right now we're doing the best we can with decks that are a little suboptimal and pilots that are fucking stupid. Let's
exactly, right. And the nice thing is, like, this isn't the last we're going to see of these decks, right? I mean, there's still the entire format leading into like Nationals of 2012, where you kind of get to see all of these decks honed together. And maybe in the next episode or two, who knows, maybe we'll do a wheel of like all of these decks again, and maybe we'll get some different matchups, right? But I will say that the one thing I do like about the way this match played out, even though it was atrocious still, is the fact that we got to see what both decks do really well, right? We got to see your deck do the crazy hand looping shenanigans, and with how easily it can pull that off, right? Essentially 2 level 3s like does it. And we got to see what my deck can do if you give it an inch, right? It just takes the entire game over by a mile. And, you know, obviously you can attribute a lot of that to top decking as well, but that's part of the reason that some people chose to play one deck over another. Like, some decks require different types of setup, and that was the decision making you had to go into when you were deciding what you wanted to pilot during this time. Or you could just not think at all and play something like Dino Rabbit.
For sure. And, you know, like, I do think that while we did get to see a hand loop, I think I got 2 and 2. And we got to see a little bit of a Inzektor pop off where you like ate 2 cards on my board. Far and away, you know, that's not what these decks were expected to do. Into no interaction. Wind up with the hand I had, game 3, which had like the starter, the shark, and the instant fusion. I could have looped 4 or 5 cards. With the hand that you had, after passing, you know, if you've got Dragonfly Hornet and I don't have a warning, you can eat the whole field and make 8,000 points of damage.
Oh yeah, easily.
But this is one of the first points where the reality of Yu-Gi-Oh becomes like, yes, you have combo decks that are analogous to the combo decks we have now, but answers start showing up. Maxi, Valor. I mean, they are incredibly powerful cards, not to mention the Solemn Brigade in Double Warning 1 Judgment. That in many ways was just as good. So, yes, you see us playing this, like, unfun battlecruiser Yu-Gi-Oh! But keep in mind that answers did exist. They were just kind of few and far between.
Well, and it also helped, too, that I think it's worth mentioning. This is around the time where priority goes away. Right? And that actually gives a lot of credence to a card like Effect Valor, which prior to that, especially in a format with Rescue Rabbits specifically, Valor was just pretty suboptimal. It was fine. It was an okay choice, but the fact that Prio existed made a card like Valor just so much worse than it should have been. And it's one of those changes to the game that I'm actually very happy the game underwent, because now you're able to actually, you know, have stuff be responded to in a more appropriate manner. And that's when a card like Valor really started to rise up. And especially this format with the wind-up loop and everything you just see, the fact that these decks are summoning almost infinitely number of monsters per turn, that's when Maxi really starts to rear its ugly head. Because, you know, leading up to this, yeah, like, you know, 6 Sam and like maybe 1 or 2 other decks were going to special summon like 2 Infinity, but I don't know, like, there wasn't really a ton going on. At best, you were probably going to maybe, like, +1 off of it, and that was, like, all your opponent was most likely capable of doing, unless it was, like, mid to late game where they had, like, an abundance of options available to them, right? And boy, God, Maxi fucking sucks. Even in 2012, I hate this card.
I mean, I had a first turn, like, hand loop FTK you could not have ever beaten with any combination of 2 cards in your deck, and I lost. Like, that's just what it does, you know?
Yep.
It's a stinker.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another episode of the History of Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's go ahead and shout the patrons as always. So big shout to Shout1317. Bro, I can't believe you painted a Tuttle on the wall every fucking time, bro. Cameron Smith, SJ Winchester, Chaotic Beatball, Ian Musa, Tim00x3, Ika Ironfake, Part 2, Pony Stark, Dan Man, Hope, Synchro Guy, Ole, Yusuf Hassan05, MBT, Play Medolce, Mystic Walk, Sylvia Wads, Cole T. Draconic, Rockslide, Dollar Up, Logan Thomas, Peter Gregory, Thomas Elson, Jordan Coons, Calvin, Iron Blazing, Purious Jesse, with True Nerdgasm, Brother Paul, Chris Hood, David Liu, Skyrose, Dylan Hunter, John Two Base, Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Daysir, Carlos CT, Flannel Daddy, Ashlyn Jensen, Give Me Speedword or Give Me Death. Seriously, guys, please read your cards. CC Gaming, thanks for the sleeves, Dad. Matthew Brady, Max, MBT's Foot Factory, Tom Russell, Ben Snatch Steel for Prague 2021, Omar, paint MBT like one of your French girls, the entire state of Indiana, D's Cards, and Abbott YGO. Thank you again so much for watching, and we will see you next time.